Oh man, you're so talented. I wish I could sing like that. I'll stick to my day job. I think that was such a beautiful speech, and it really does speak to leadership as well. We have to be leaders that allow other people to also achieve their purpose. And I'm speaking on leadership because I'm going to bring an incredible speaker next. But I want to segue into bringing her on stage by saying, I spent 20 years in corporate. I know I look 20 years old, but I'm not. 20 years in corporate. And I left in 2022 and I reached executive level, and I decided to then pursue my purpose within communication still, but in my own way and in the way that I felt was my purpose in life. And some of the greatest leaders I met in corporate taught me, it's not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. And the next person I'm going to bring to stage really walks the talk. Mind you, let me tell you, I've known her for a long while. She hasn't known me. We only met today. And how I've known of her is I have this really great friend of mine, and I won't mention his name. And every time we'd meet with her, have to do something for her, when we'd have a coffee, he would speak so fondly of her that I was like, oh, I hope one day I'll get to meet her. Well, Bob's your uncle, I did today. And she really, for me, encapsulates that quote. She not only takes charge, but she takes care of those in her charge. So I know we're in for a beautiful treat. Please help me welcome to stage the CEO of Bidvest Group, Mpumi Madisa.
Good evening. I hope I'm audible. Thank you, Mr. DJ, for carrying on with the song while I was trying to get myself sorted. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and can I please be covered by Babalwa's intro? She very eloquently acknowledged everybody in the room. So if I can please ask all protocol observed. It's an honor to be here with you tonight at this incredible gathering of Africa's brightest minds, boldest entrepreneurs, and most dedicated changemakers. I would like to thank Sinayo Global and their respective partners for organizing this NextGen Africa platform to recognize the builders and the future of African business. I'd also like to congratulate Kagiso Trust as they celebrate 40 years of excellence. And if I can ask the team from Kagiso Trust to please stand so that we can acknowledge you. 40 years of stay in power. That's what that looks like. Thank you very much. So this evening is about honoring those who dare to create, who dare to solve, and who dare to scale. You know, I used to have conversations with my teams about entrepreneurship, and we debate, how do you know if you're an entrepreneur? Are entrepreneurs born or are they made? And I always used to say to them, there's one test around who is an entrepreneur and who isn't. So if on the 15th or the 25th or the 30th, whichever your date is of the month, when your phone goes ping and your employer's dropped your salary in your account and you get a very warm and fuzzy feeling and it makes you so happy, then you're not an entrepreneur. Because entrepreneurs aren't made warm and fuzzy by pings. Entrepreneurs have got bigger visions. They take bigger risks and they take giant leaps. And so that's how you know if you're an entrepreneur or not. And so to you entrepreneurs in the room, who in spite of real constraints, continuously find ways to grow businesses, serve communities and create jobs, you are the engine of Africa's transformation. And tonight, we celebrate you. As we look ahead to the main conference tomorrow and begin to shape meaningful conversations around economic growth, innovation, and opportunity, allow me to speak candidly and practically about the vital role of entrepreneurs. Many of you here tonight are female entrepreneurs, young founders and leaders of small and medium-sized businesses. You carry an ambition that is deeply personal, to not just succeed, but to uplift. You want your businesses to thrive not only in your region, city or country, but across Africa and beyond. And talking about Africa and beyond, allow me to share a small portion of my Bidvest story. So my own journey as Chief Executive of the Bidvest Group, which is home to about 250 businesses across Africa, UK, Europe, Asia, Australia, and North America, with 130,000 employees, did not begin with the title CEO. My Bidvest journey began at the young age of 24. And I was sharing with my colleagues on the table that the standing joke in my house is my husband telling me that when he met me, I didn't even have a driver's license. I couldn't even drive. And so at the young age of 24, I joined a subsidiary of the group, and my 20 plus years in Bidvest have been years of learning and listening. In the midst of being significantly underestimated and at times terribly disrespected, I remained focused, continued to work hard, and chose to lead with purpose, even when at times it felt uncomfortable. And so to my sisters in the room, when it feels hard, when you feel like you're pushing large rocks covered in thorns up a mountain, keep pushing and keep your eye on the prize. Through my own journey, I found that it got easier when I got comfortable and accepted certain principles. And for me, there's 4 of them that I'd like to share. Principle number 1, work not twice as hard as your male counterparts, but 5 times harder. When I understood that before walking into any room, doesn't matter what the meeting is, board meeting, I needed to wake up at 4 a.m., go through the entire pack for the 5th time again, so that I could talk through 50 pages without even referencing any page. Only when you perfect the art of hard work and over-preparation do you excel consistently. Principle number 2, building a winning team is non-negotiable. Your team must be the best team in the entire company, not in the region, not in the division, in the entire company. I learned very early in my career that I had to employ people that were stronger than me, more qualified than I was. And in fact, I remember when I was 25 and I employed my first person building a team. I went through a whole lot of interviews and found the candidate. And this person was absolutely amazing. And when I sent it up the line for approval, I got are you sure you want to bring this person on? This person is much stronger than you. And I said, yeah, no, I can see. He's got a master's degree. I've just got an undergrad and I'm busy with my honors. He's 35, I'm 25, so he's got 10 years on me. He's worked on the continent, I've only worked in South Africa. I get all of that, but I'm building a team and I'm building for the future. And so I need all of that. There's no point in me appointing someone who's more junior to me. And so when you understand that, you build powerful teams. When you're clear that you're not building a C team, but you're building an A team, you surround yourself with the best of the best, because the best of the best, you'll get gold medals every year, and you'll break records every year. Principle number 3. And sometimes as women, we struggle with this, but you have to find your voice. Because the higher you move up in an organization, the less people there are that look like you, racially, gender, age, etc. You don't have the luxury of numbers. So you must find your own voice. And the only way to be confident with whatever posture you take, and Babalwa mentioned this, is when your purpose is clear. When your purpose is clear and underpinned by a solid set of values, you ooze power and authority. And by the way, in any case, we need more values-based leadership in the world today. Because you see, values guide behavior and values guide decision-making. And so when I value life, when you and I value life, when you and I value humanity, when you and I value love, I'm not throwing a bomb into your house, and neither are you throwing a missile into mine. We'll find another way of resolving the conflict that we're looking at. And principle number 4, how we increase the number of women in our organization is women must employ women. That's just what we must do. And we must be intentional about it. At Bidvest, this is an organization that is led by women. The chief executive is a woman. There are 3 executive directors, 2 are women. The board of Bidvest is 65% female-led. The ExCo of Bidvest is 60% female. We are led by women because we intentionally employ women. And so reflecting more broadly on the current operating environment, I don't think that a year ago anyone could have predicted the world we're living in today. There's immense complexity and unpredictability. Every morning, I now have a new routine, and the routine is check all the SA news channels, check CNN, check BBC, check Fox, check Bloomberg, and then only go to work. And before you go to bed, the exact same routine. It's absolutely crazy. But what we must remember is that challenges are there to sharpen our focus. They force us to innovate. Challenges force us to reallocate resources smartly and to double down on the sectors and parts of the economy that are thriving. It's during these complex times where the power of an entrepreneurial mindset becomes critical. Entrepreneurs don't see roadblocks, they see redirections. It's time for business agility, resilience, but more so we need businesses to be responsive to the current conditions. So don't freeze during this time. It's time to be decisive, and it's time to make the right moves on your own chessboard. Every founder in this room knows what it means to pivot, to press forward, and to find opportunity in adversity. This is what makes you entrepreneurs, and this is what makes you unstoppable. Let me turn to the continent and address SMEs specifically. Across the continent, SMEs account for more than 80% of employment and contribute significantly to GDP. From tech startups in Nairobi to agribusinesses in Limpopo, these enterprises are fueling innovation, job creation, and economic resilience. Africa has the highest proportion of female entrepreneurs globally, and the numbers in South Africa are a testament to this dynamic. The entrepreneurship rate for women on the continent has increased to 25.9%, with 1 in 4 women running their own businesses. This is not only a sign of transformation, it's a signal of strength. African women are no longer waiting to be invited into the economy. They are building it. When we support them, we're not just closing gender gaps, but we're unlocking economic potential at scale. The African Continental Free Trade Area, or AfCFTA, presents a transformative opportunity for African SMEs. It aims to eliminate tariffs on most goods, simplify customs, and facilitate trade across all 54 countries. And with the right support, entrepreneurs can scale across markets faster, more efficiently, and with global impact. As Babal has just said, this year we're hosting the G20, and we've got the presidency. And I was honored to be appointed a co-chair of the B20 Trade and Investment Task Force. Through this Trade and Investment Task Force, we elevate the experiences, insights, and aspirations of African entrepreneurs. When I sit at that table, I carry your voices with me. Together, we must help craft a world where the next generation of African businesses are not just local champions, but global contenders. To our partners in policy who are in the room, including the G20, if we're serious about unleashing Africa's full entrepreneurial potential, we must begin by addressing the practical constraints that so often stand in the way. Africa's entrepreneurs don't need handouts. They need equitable access to tariffs, visas, and capital. No handouts. Let's collaborate to remove the friction that holds back growth and innovation. We cannot speak about cross-border growth without acknowledging the broader ecosystem that must support it. Policymakers, investors, and multilateral platforms like the G20 must recognize that enabling entrepreneurs is not charity, it's smart economics. As I draw to close, I'd like to remind us all that Africa's future will not be built in boardrooms alone. It will be built in the places where you work, the communities you impact, and the partnerships you form. So tonight, as we honor the entrepreneurs shaping Africa's future, let us remember that every success story is also a blueprint, that every challenge overcome is a lesson shared, and that every barrier broken is a door opened for someone else to walk through. So let us be bold in our ambitions, collaborative in our approach, and relentless in our commitment to inclusive growth. Bidvest stands with you in this journey. To those being honored tonight, thank you for leading. To those still building, thank you for persisting. And to every woman entrepreneur across this continent, my prayer to you is that may you rise, may you scale, and soar beyond every border. Thank you.
Yes, the night is young, but it won't last forever. If you know you're a diva, you're representa.
I said to Mpumi, you're not dancing, so must I now, do it for you? What a beautiful speech. I'm going to take on your last words because I'm an entrepreneur myself. May we soar beyond every border. May we scale, may we grow. So thank you so much for those well wishes and very well encapsulated speech. It goes without say that when you're a moderator and you're architecting messages and you're program directing, you get to meet a number of people on a daily basis. And they all have an impact on your life in a good, in a bad, and even in ugly ways. But in all of them, you get to learn something. Now, I'm a mom of 2 boys, and I'm a little bit hard around the edges because boys are something else to raise, but I love them dearly. But the next speaker that I'm going to call on stage, we had a briefing session earlier this week, and I was really touched by her. She impacted me. She made me realize that soft is indeed the new hard. I got to engage with her again this evening, someone who gives instruction, but with such gentleness and kindness. I didn't only get to hear it now in theory, I got to witness it in a leader who's leading the next generation to come. So please help me welcome to stage the chairperson of the board for Kagiso Trust, Mankone Ntsaba.
Also allow me to say all protocol observed, but even if I have to say so, I'd like to extend a sincere gratitude to the hosts, Sinayo Global, and to Africa Continental Free Trade Area, and the entire NextGen Africa team for creating this vital platform for action. When I was asked to come and talk, and I read what this occasion is about. Actually, it's not an occasion, it's a process. I said, my theme for the day and for the process is going to be leaving no one behind. Leaving no one behind because at Kagiso Trust, we get to engage with those people who are forever left behind. And we know their frustrations, we know the potential they have, but because they are forever left behind, that potential is lost, not only to the country, but to the continent and globally. There are lots of people who are left behind, and I said that would be my theme. At Kagiso Trust, we believe that movements such as this are not ceremonial. It's not a party. They are not events, but processes. They are catalytic. They mark not just an evening of recognition, but a bold reaffirmation that Africa's time is now to unlock the full potential of Africa's people, especially our entrepreneurs, our SMEs, and our young people. Kagiso Trust was born at a time of injustice. I'll not go into that history because it will take me 3 days. But since then, it has been dedicated to igniting human capacity. And 40 years on, as Mpumi indicated, we are 30 years old. Kagiso Trust was established in 1985. It continues to work with moral conviction for a peaceful, prosperous, equitable, and just society. Today, the call is for us to be the front line of economic inclusion. Because while freedom was the first mountain to climb, today the challenge is different. The battleground is economic inclusion, economic participation. Therefore, the freedom without that economic participation, it's beginning to show that it's freedom in vain. It's not sustainable. Therefore, we need to climb a different type of mountain, which is economic participation and economic inclusion. It is now our moment demands bold leadership, ethical collaboration, and inclusive growth that leaves no one behind, as I said earlier. We are here not only to celebrate excellence, but to deepen partnerships that unlock pathways for all Africans to thrive. The diversity of entrepreneurs in this room is encouraging. Our aim is that everyone must either be in entrepreneurship or in employment, well, except for the pensioners who are neither in employment or in entrepreneurship. But when a society is either in entrepreneurship or in employment, that society is not a nanny society that keeps on being fed and breastfed and goes nowhere. So we should, at Kagiso Trust, we are thriving for that type of society. The principle of leaving no one behind is rooted in Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which aim to eradicate poverty and reduce inequalities. Therefore, supporting entrepreneurs, especially those from marginalized groups, is crucial for achieving this goal. We must all work intentionally to ensure that we encourage inclusivity. Don't only work with people who look like you, or who reason like you, or who agree with you. The other day, I was in a meeting and I was saying we need more diversity in our board and in our organization. I will not mention the name of the organization or that company who had 12 board members, and 10 of them were chartered accountants. That company still went bust. Sorry, I'm not saying something is wrong with chartered accountants, but I want to believe that it was as a result of, one of the results was the lack of diversity. People agreeing with each other all the time. Therefore, today we should take advantage of this diversity that is in here and ensure that we partner with all sorts of people, not necessarily those who speak our language or those who look like us or those who reason like us. Research highlights that entrepreneurs are not passive participants, but agents who identify and catalyze other actors in the ecosystem. They demonstrate resolve in their decisions and actions, and entrepreneurial agency is critical. These activities require time, patience, consistency, motivation, and often great sacrifice. That's why I truly believe that tenderpreneurs are not entrepreneurs. They get a tender today and that's it. So tenderpreneurs are not entrepreneurs. They don't have patience, they don't have consistency, motivation, and they don't care for sacrifice. They don't want to sacrifice. Now, we have all sorts of programs in our countries and in the continent at large. What are the examples of leaving no one behind? We have initiatives that provide targeted training, mentorship, and funding for marginalized groups such as women, youth, and others who are marginalized differently. We need policy and legal reforms, implementing policies that promote equal opportunities and eliminate discrimination. Such policies can also help support entrepreneurs. And at Kagiso Trust, about 2 or 3 years ago, we established a policy unit, which actually we say must influence policy through research, not just through emotion. And then we must measure progress if we are entrepreneurs, collecting data and analyzing such data to check whether our entrepreneurs are succeeding or not. It doesn't help if entrepreneurs are being breastfed for 10, 20, 30 years. I know of some people who call themselves entrepreneurs, but they have more than 5 different government grants, and they know how to navigate that environment. And when you try and measure progress, you really can't find that progress. We stand on the shoulders of those who dreamed in impossible times. Times when it was impossible for entrepreneurs who look like me, who could thrive. There was 1 or 2 here and there, but it was not common. Therefore, we have an opportunity today to really take advantage of the learnings which we get from our elders, from those who came before us, but that does not mean that we should be stuck in things that were done 10, 20, or 30 years ago. Today, young people are showing us flames, eh? You come with your own ideas. You're going to fund this, you're going to find that, and they say, that's not a priority. That's not a priority. Just give me a cell phone, give me data, or give me connectivity, and leave me alone. And they thrive in that environment. So please carry on. Let us not. We have a tendency, those who are my age mates, we have a tendency of saying, this is madness. It is out of that madness that some of these innovations, we find some of these innovations in young people. This is what NextGen Africa calls us to do. Not to attend, but to act. Not to observe, but to organize. Not to wait, but to lead. Africa's greatness won't be found in GDP alone. Of course, GDP is an important component, but it will be found by generational impact and how we lift up one another. This has been a thread. The previous speaker said so. The one before also spoke about uplifting one another. It will be seen in how we treat the smallest business. It's so easy to treat well that big business with the biggest and with a high-rise building in Sandton. But we will be judged according to how we treat the small businesses, how we trust the youngest founder. And we have this tendency of juniorizing people who come with ideas, how we trust that youngest founder, how we back the boldest ideas, even when they come from unexpected places. To our honorees today, you are more than award recipients. You are evidence that Africa is not waiting. Africa is doing. And to truly honor you, we must design systems where your success is the rule, not the outlier. Let us build an economy where value is shared, leadership is collaborative, and opportunity is not gated by privilege. Let the world not only hear Africa's voice, let the world listen to Africa's voice. And while we are giving this voice, we have to make sure that through the G20, the voices that come from here And the voices that come from those entrepreneurs that I said must not be left behind, those voices must find expression in what comes out of the opportunity given by the G20. We were in a chapter, or we must create a chapter where entrepreneurs, whether they are from Soweto, or Kisumu, or Kigali, or even Gala. I've been to Gala a few times, 20 or 30 years ago. At that time, really, if you ask me what is going on in Gala, I will not tell you. Well, people live there. It is a very small village in the Eastern Cape. And look, the diamond that has just come out of Gala, I think that we need an applause for that. You can Google now, go to Google Maps and find Gala, C-A-L-A. I've been there. At some stage, I was working at the University of Transkei, and I had friends in Gala. Very little goes on there, but someone has come out of Gala and is hosting us today. Really, I would like to congratulate you, Babalwa, and your team, and Sinayo in general. It's really showing us that it can be done. I would like to congratulate each and every one of you who will be a recipient of, and will be honored today. Some of you will not necessarily be honored, but you've been invited here to come and see for yourself what it looks like to be in an environment like this. Let us move forward, not as competitors, but partner as co-builders. Thank you very much.
I'm going to ask you to stay on stage. I'm going to ask you to please stay on stage with me. Please stay on stage with me. So, Babalwa, I'm going to ask you to come to stage quickly. Please rejoin me on stage. Let's go to the middle. Don't worry, I won't make you dance. Can I get your tablet?
I'm good as well.
Oh, okay. It's about to get very interesting in this house. I'm a piano. Let's go to the middle of the stage.
Okay.
So throughout the evening, we've been really hearing about Kagiso Trust and that it's their 40th year of existence. And we're so excited to see what the next 40 years of Kagiso Trust are going to bring us. But what's a birthday without a cake, right? So we planned a little surprise for you.
Did you know about that?
A little bit. Not too much.
It's coming.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know that this year, Kagiso Trust is celebrating 40 years of impact. Here is the cake now. Can we all bring the cake?
Wow.
And shall we sing before we can say happy birthday first?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kagiso. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kagiso. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, clap your hands, everybody.
Oh.
So you wanna cut the cake?
Yes, I will. Right, bro.
Can you all stand up, please? Can you all stand up and celebrate?
Come on, dance with us.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kagiso. Happy birthday
when we celebrate, we say, Namhlanje, we are celebrating, colleagues. Before you go, we just want to really thank you, man, for the impact that you have had. And we are looking forward to another 40 years of impact. Our MC colleagues has mentioned here, there is softness in this chairperson. There is softness at Kagiso Trust, but do not take it for granted. The strength that is there is amazing. I've worked with them. You know, in fact, Sinayo Global came out of these shoulders. You know, the strength that you see today on Sinayo Global, it is from the pot that was cooked by Kagiso Trust. They accepted me as their board of one of their biggest company, KTH, when I was still very young. That inclusivity that she talks about, they live it. They do not talk the talk, they walk the talk.
Thank you.
And
Thank
I
you.
want to thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Thank
Colleagues,
you.
the last thing I want to say, we talk collaborations. When you collaborate, watch your partners. Do you share the same values? It's very, very important. People, when they look at you, there is a saying that if you want to know me, look at people who surround me. Look at my partners here. Then you will know who am I. So the people that surround you in this collaboration will define who you are. At Sinayo Global, we are very proud to be defined through the eyes of Kagiso Trust. And thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.
I'm going to
Thank you.
release my humans
Yeah.
here on stage.
Excellent.
You guys are so cool to work with.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
I always say I'm the end product of everything. We have incredible people in the back scenes, front of house. So I just want to give a round of applause to everybody who makes it look so beautiful eventually.